This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, for the first time this season, the Yankees come up short. Their first loss of the season. Arizona comes to town for a little interleague action. They spoil the fun. They begin the series with a 7-5 victory over the Bombers. A brutal eighth inning from the Yanks' pen. It proved to be the difference. A huge grand slam from Eugenio Suarez in that eighth inning off Mark Leiter Jr. Meanwhile, Will Warren got the start. Another starter thrust into the rotation because of all those injuries. He actually pitched pretty well. The righty lasted 5 innings, allowed just 2 runs. 3 more homers for the Yankees. Dominguez, Volpe, and Rice with the honors. Bombers have now hit 18 home runs in the first 4 games, by far the most in the majors. All right, everybody, I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X at Jay Berman, JayBerman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Yankees game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. All right, 7-5, the final score. Yanks fall to 3-1 on the season. We'll start with that fateful eighth inning, which produced 5 Arizona runs. It started that eighth inning with Tim Hill, who registered just 1 out on 4 pitches. Obviously, the inning got going, and Hill put some gasoline on the fire. Next up was Mark Leiter Jr., and he, too, was just able to register just 1 out. He obviously gives up the big home run. So, technically, 2 of the 5 earned runs go to Tim Hill. 3 of the 5 go to Mark Leiter Jr. Now, the pen besides that was pretty good tonight. Cruz looked good. Ottavino looked good. Hedrick looked good. But again, the combination of Tim Hill and Mark Leiter Jr., and for the first time really in 4 games or so, the Yankee bullpen was not very good. If you recall, and I hadn't until the broadcast mentioned it, last year the Yankees, who by the way opened up 5-0, their second series of the season was against Arizona. This one in Arizona. Of course, they started the season last year in Houston, then moved to Arizona. So, strangely enough, for the second consecutive year, the second series of the season is against Arizona. The Yanks took 2 of 3 from Arizona last year in the desert. They'll have to win the last 2 games of the series on Wednesday and Thursday to do that once again. We told you about the home runs. Now, 18 home runs in 4 games. Folks, that is an MLB record. The previous mark was held by the Detroit Tigers roughly 20 years ago, 2006. They had 16 home runs through the first 4 games. And again, the Yankees now have 18, so they smashed the record. Dominguez with his home run, Anthony Volpe with his home run, and Ben Rice hit a bomb in the 9th inning off Arizona closer A.J. Puck. But again, those are your 3 home runs. It also means that 9 different Yankees have homered this season. Folks, there are plenty of teams that don't have 9 home runs total. The Yanks have 9 different players at least 1 home run this season. Again, it's been all about the bats tonight, obviously, about Eugenio Suarez, who, by the way, now has 5 home runs on the season. He was the National League Player of the Week to start. He now has 5 homers and 11 RBIs through the first 4 games for Arizona. So, again, a huge blow off Mark Leiter Jr., who basically just hung one on a 3-2 pitch right down the middle. Suarez barely got it out over the outstretched hands of Cody Bellinger in left field. It looked like it hit just past his glove into the very first row of left field. But again, it's a home run. Could have gone 500 feet. It wouldn't have made a difference. As for our old friend Josh Naylor, who could forget his days in Cleveland, well, a huge error from Naylor in the fourth inning turned a 2-2 game into 4-2, and it was 4-2 into the eighth inning. So it was a pretty important error. 2 outs in a 2-2 game, 2 men on. He takes a ground ball at first base, flips it to Corbin Burnes, except he flips it over his head. 2-run score, and the Yanks would take a 4-2 lead at that point in time. And considering how things have been going with the bullpen, believe it or not, at least I did, thought it was enough. And then we turned things over to Tim Hill and Mark Leiter Jr. Not to pick on those guys, but to be fair, the bullpen has been pretty good. It just wasn't tonight. The Diamondbacks scored 8 runs in the 8th inning on Sunday to come from behind and beat the Cubs. They scored 5 in the 8th inning tonight. So the 8th inning proving to be a pivotal inning for the Diamondbacks. So they come from behind on Sunday with 8 in the 8th. They come from behind on Tuesday with 5 in the 8th, including the grand slam from Suarez. And just like that, the Diamondbacks are 3-2. Yanks fall to 3-1, obviously, all of their games at home. As we said, Tim Hill threw just 4 pitches to dig himself into trouble in that 8th inning. All right, we still have to get to notes and quotes, and we also have to get to the schedule. As we said, 7-5, the final score. Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger were each, and Aaron Judge as well, and Jazz Chisholm as well. They all took offers tonight. In fact, the top 4 guys in the lineup were 0 for 15 with 9 strikeouts. Jazz took the golden sombrero tonight, 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Judge was 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Cody Bellinger struck out twice. Paul Goldschmidt struck out. Anthony Volpe struck out twice. The Yankees were whiffing like nuts tonight. In fact, they struck out 14 times. What's funny is Yanks were struck out 1, 2, 3. All 3 batters in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th, struck out. First 2 batters of the 9th against Puck also struck out. So before Ben Rice hit his home run, the final 5 Yankees had struck out. Again, they whiffed 14 times tonight. Corbin Burnes, who, of course, got the start for Arizona, their $200 million man, lasted just 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned. He did strike out 8, but he gave up 2 home runs through 98 pitches. If you're wondering why this was his first start of the year, a lot like Marcus Stroman last year, when the Yanks asked Stroman to pitch on opening day, he said he wasn't ready, wasn't lined up. Much the same for Burnes, the prized free agent signing of the Diamondbacks in the offseason, did not want to pitch the opener. So he lined up to pitch today, and it went, again, 4 1/3 for Burnes. As for the rest of the Arizona bullpen, with the exception of Puck, who gave up the home run to Rice in the 9th inning, Beeks, Miller, Martinez, and Puck for the first 2 outs of the 9th were brilliant tonight. They combined to allow just 1 hit. That was the Ben Rice home run. Not a single hit from any other reliever. And again, 6 Ks from the Arizona bullpen. As for Will Warren, we told you 5 solid innings, allowed just 1 hit. That was the Corbin Carroll home run. That came in the 3rd inning. Warren struck out 4, again, allowed just 1 hit and 2 earned through 85 pitches and a few strikeouts, was pretty pumped. Meanwhile, Mr. Cruz was excellent. 2 innings, 4 Ks. He looked brilliant. He gets what manages to be a hold, if you will. Tim Hill actually had a hold as well, despite the fact that he threw just 4 pitches and allowed 2 earned runs and that rally to start in that fateful 8th inning. Miller gets the win. Leiter gets the loss. Puck gets the save. And the Yankees are now 3-1. As we told you, some news and notes to get to. And we'll also discuss the probables for the final 2 games of the series. That when we come back. All right, March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on all the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. How about picking my favorites? Well, I've got my eye on a few underdogs this year, and FanDuel makes it easy to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. How about staying in the action? With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. Easy and fast. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly, no waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com, get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. All right, next up is Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free trade line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals ready to take advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, we are back. Second segment of the show as the Yankees lose to the Diamondbacks 7-5. You, of course, are watching the Yankees postcast. Jason Dominguez hit a home run. Anthony Volpe hit a home run. Ben Rice hit a home run. So the Yankees now have 18 home runs through 4 games. Remarkable stuff. What's even more remarkable is the fact that the Yankees have home runs from 9 different players. Folks, no reason to go into the numbers in regard to other teams, but let me just tell you, there are plenty of teams that don't have 9 home runs total. The Yankees have a home run from 9 different guys. And again, 18 home runs through 4 games is a major league record. The previous mark, as we said, held by Detroit back in 2006. They hit 16. And again, the Yanks had 15 coming into tonight. They hit 3 more. John Carlos Stanton said today he would use the torpedo bat when he returns. Here's the reason why that's significant. If you recall, still dealing with elbow issues is Stanton. There was some thought, perhaps, that those bats were contributing to his elbow issues. He said that's not true. And not only that, he will continue to use the torpedo bat, which he used last postseason, which in the postseason he was phenomenal in. So again, he will use the torpedo bat when he returns, whenever that is. Clark Schmidt threw 3 innings, 46 pitches yesterday in a simulated game in Tampa. He'll throw again on Saturday. He could rejoin the rotation in mid-April. We told you that the other day. But again, good news for Schmidt. 3 innings, 46 pitches in a simulated game. Now, in case you watched tonight and didn't realize that Adam Ottavino was on the roster because he threw 2/3 of an inning. In fact, he helped get out of the 8th inning. He was signed to the active roster earlier today and then thrown right into the fire because Devin Williams is on paternity leave. So not sure how long Ottavino will be in pinstripes. Obviously, he was in pinstripes in past years. He said it was good to be back, but again, not sure how long he'll be on the active roster for the Yankees. Devin Williams will be returning in just a couple of days. Upcoming Yankees probables versus Arizona, of course. Two good pitching matchups. Back to the top, Carlos Rodon for the Yankees tomorrow. Zach Gallen goes for Arizona, another wonderful pitching matchup. Then on Thursday in the series finale, Carlos Carrasco will get his first start in pinstripes. He goes up against Merrill Kelly, another good Arizona starter. So again, tomorrow, Carrasco and Kelly, Rodon and Gallen tomorrow, Carrasco and Kelly on Thursday. Don't forget, tomorrow is a Prime Video game. And of course, we'll be with you immediately following the conclusion of tomorrow night's game. Thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On MLB season previews. Every contender, every division, everything you need to know. Find all 6 episodes on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Gotsulias and Brian McKeon. Again, they handle all the stuff at Locked On Yankees. They're the best, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. 7-5, the final score as the Yankees lose for the first time, despite the fact that they had a 4-2 lead deep into the game. A fateful 8th inning featuring an Eugenio Suarez grand slam off Mark Leiter Jr. Yeah, well, that proved to be the difference. 7-5, the final score. Yanks fall to 3-1. They'll try and get right back on that horse tomorrow night in the Bronx against Arizona. We'll be with you immediately following the game. Have a good night, everyone.